Happy Wednesday, Raven fans, Oriole fans. It's time for the Ravori Sports Podcast for fans like me. Like, and subscribe to all of our social media content. It's getting darker outside a little bit earlier. It's 8 o'clock. Now 8:51 here on the East Coast. It's dark outside already. Fall is coming, football. So thank you for joining us here as well. Thank you. Oh, more and more of you. I've said it every week because this keeps being true. More and more of you are engaging in our content. So we appreciate it. So definitely check out Ravori Sports Podcast. Definitely check out Driving to the Top Productions. I'm so grateful for all those guys allowing me to be on their platform as well. We're going to have our main man, Adam, right? The fearlessly, the one that asked me to join. He's going to be one of our last interview series as well. We're going to also, this week, have Kirby on Sports, the voice of the Valley. The guy here, I know a lot of you in Baltimore or whatever, but here in Winchester, where I've been living the last several years, even though I'm doing the Baltimore Sports Podcast, Kirby is the guy who is really the voice of the area as far as all the sports, the Valley Vipers and all that. So here is perspective on Commanders and the Nats and all the other sports, basketball, etc. So we have a good conversation with him. That'll be on the channel Sunday. NFL predictions video, August 31st. Week before that, Maryland Terps preview video. We're going to actually have that, so definitely check that out. ravorisports.company.site. Definitely check that out. You can always go to the ravorisports.company.site. Ravens and Orioles and jerseys are always available. Also, too, there are links for Fanatics. We have a deal with Fanatics. Check that out. Genesis Notary Services, which I've been busy with lately as well. So thank all of you in the Winchester area for doing that as well. Our busiest month by far. Every day, more than one call. Every day. Thank you guys. Thank all of you here in Winchester. See Charles Harris. We are Legal Shield as well. So we want to thank all of you for that. So if you are looking for that, get some savings with your legal information. We have Charles Harris. We are Legal Shield. Try Legal Shield, man. It will help you save you a lot of money. Lawyers are very expensive. Definitely try Legal Shield. Our last training camp report. This was the last day with fans there in Owens Mills. They're still going to have training camp as well. Open to the media, but this will be pretty much the end of the with fans. So we're going to have a week 2 preseason game. We're going to cover week 3 as far as what happened this week. So Thursday, we obviously tape on Wednesday. I actually go on Wednesday. Thursday, last week, TJ Tampa, Bo Braid, and this was the game. So I'm talking about the game, the Colts and the Ravens on Thursday. Bo Braid, Cecily Kane, TJ Tampa played well. Mixed opinions on them. I thought they've been good in camp. I thought Braid, Kane, I think there is some talk about bringing in a safety. I don't know if you need to bring in a safety. You might. They might do it, but I think these guys have really looked decent. You got to keep in mind, this is talking about a third safety, fourth safety, fifth court, sixth. These guys are fine. I think I've been very impressed and I've always been impressed with Bo Braid. I think he was the best player in Maryland a couple of years ago. His tackling, he's like leading the first week of preseason. He's fantastic. So I have no problem with that. This may be the best secondary in the NFL. I wrote a lot of these things after the game, after the Colts game on Thursday. Cooper Rush is an improvement over what we had last year, but his butt needs some work. 2 for 4, 1 INT. He likely struggle if he was the starter. Rush has not looked great all the time. I think he's learning a new offense. I think some of you guys are honestly just being a little hyperbolic with Cooper Rush. I think we've seen him play well in the NFL, right? So he's learning a new offense. Not getting the majority of the reps. Obviously, that's going to Lamar on the first team. Only Lamar gets a rest day. Not too worried about Cooper. I think Cooper, not great, obviously, but I not too worried about that. Him as a backup. So as well, we'll get to the other guy as well. That's a whole different thing. We don't need to see any more Keaton Mitchell in the preseason as well. He looked like his 2023 self, 9 carries, 68 yards, and 1 TD. Ridiculous speed, shines in the backfield and kickoff returns. Now, he looked good in the game. It's interesting to see they've signed Myles Gaskin. There's talk of signing another running back. So, and he hasn't been practicing. Could this be something else, an injury? And sometimes in preseason, we don't always know. So I think he'll get it. He looked good on the field, though. On the field, when we saw, I thought Keaton Mitchell looked fantastic in the game. I thought he was the star of the game against the Colts. Early returns against special teams additions. So in the offseason, they really committed to improve the special teams. I thought for Ravens standards, the special teams weren't as good. They went ahead and signed LeJohntay Wester and Tyler Loop in the offseason in the draft. Early returns look really good. Wester blew the doors off with a punt return right off the bat. He looks fantastic. I mean, Wester, I can tell you years later, certainly now we have Zay Flowers, Bateman, DeAndre, but I can tell you in the years past, they'd have been clamoring for him to start the way he's looked at camp. He's been terrific, not only as a kick, as a punt returner, but as a wide receiver. Absolutely. Tyler Loop did miss a field goal, but I think he's looked fine. He does go wide right, I think, so he needs to work on that, but he's been pretty spot on. Definitely a lot of leg. He's shown of the two kickers they had in camp, definitely Tyler Loop is the guy. I don't think they're going to bring in a bet before the season starts. It will be, I think, Tyler Loop at the start. Been good enough in camp. Daniel Falele. I'm going to say it one more time. Dropped weight, made progress this summer, but gave up a sack in the first quarter, knocked to the turf by defensive tackle Amachi Abuar, I think I'm saying the name right, of the Colts. That looked horrible. Look, I don't know what to say to people out here that think Daniel Falele is playing well. I don't know what to tell you. I had this guy on Facebook just saying I'm just making up content, or I posted the Ravens Talk video, Sam Nwaku, I think that's his last name, for Ravens Talk, good podcast. And, he was talking about Falele, and I put it on the Ravori Sports page, and he's like, well, we're just making up stuff. That would have been like, dude, I don't know what to tell people. Like, if you think, this has been going on. He didn't improve a lot last year. I think what they did is they gave him extra help on that side. They realized he was going to struggle, so they ran more to the left side. I think I've seen him in a lot of games. Ricard stayed on that side. Charlie Kolar stayed on that side when they gave help, etc. Got the ball out quick. They started scheming it up. It was a great job with that. But you saw like that one-on-one. I don't know what to tell people. I don't know. Like, if you can't buy that at this point, I don't know what to tell somebody at this point. If you think that Ben Cleveland isn't as good as Daniel Falele, I don't know what you're looking at. I'm sorry. You can be mad at me, but I saw it. So people are having. This has been going on for a while now. What the heck is going on? Okay. Ooh. All right, there you go. Saturday's practice. So they had the game Thursday. They took Friday off. They had Saturday practice. Kyle Van Noy could compare two possible stats. Gave the Jordan shrug, if you don't know what that is. That was in game one of the finals where he hit 3-pointers. He usually doesn't shoot like that in practice. Look, Kyle Van Noy and Owe have really done a good job in camp. They really look good. I think Mike Green, as good as he has been, they're certainly not going to give up their starting job. I think that's all John Harbaugh was looking for. Kyle Van Noy, I think, has been one of the best value finds maybe they've ever had. Here's a guy they got in late in camp, good, solid vet, good, solid season as a backup. Then he got, because of cap and all that other stuff, got to play more, and it's been great for them. So I think this is one of the best vet signings, one of them, they've ever had. He's looked really good in camp. Chibiaweezy, I think I'm saying that. I don't think I'm saying that right. Picked off of Lamar Jackson, 11-on-11. Drills undercutting Tylan Wallace to make the play. Also, Nate Wiggins picked off Lamar Jackson in the end zone. Nate Wiggins had a good camp too. Kind of like been overshadowed by Jair Alexander. But Nate Wiggins, I think, has been really good in camp. I'm sorry. Sunday practice. I'm sorry about that. Dad business. There you go. I'm sorry. Dad stuff. All right. 6th-round practice. Robert Lagerbeam was placed on IR after season-ending surgery in the preseason opener in the Sunday practice. In a corresponding move, Miles Gaskin. Miles Gaskin was signed on Sunday there as well. Again, we talked about Mitchell. Something may be going on. Kind of not really complimentary for somewhat about that. Mitchell may have, I don't know if it's an injury or something going on. It seems a little bit weird to me more than just training camp stuff that they're signing 2 running backs. That's a little, they'll try and tell you that, but I think it may be something more than that. Lamar, with a strong day overall, pinpoint throws all over the field, including one to Kirkwood down the left sideline. Not worried about Lamar. It doesn't matter. A little bit frustrated. I think he's with the line. I think that's probably the biggest concern. All the penalties the offensive line has been getting. Keaton Melcher showed burst, 100% back. He impressive rush, jump pass on hunters, actually spun out of a TJ Tampa and a Bro Braid tackle. So Mitchell, when he was in there, he's been playing well. I absolutely believe Mitchell should be on the roster here. Cooper Rush made most of his opportunities with the first team offense, 11-on-11 work, zipped the ball down the seam to save Flowers, who had a step on Marlon Humphrey. For the most part, the defense has been ahead of the offense in this camp, from what I have seen, from what I've seen in reading and everything like that. They've been ahead of the offense, I think, though, especially with Cooper Rush on the field, who's learning a new offense. But I think the offense has been good enough. I mean, it's not a concern at all, but we are seeing a few more picks. Defense, I think it says more about the defense, honestly, than it does the offense. DeJounte Wester continued to show quickness and his ability to separate with several catches throughout the afternoon. Wester's been fantastic. Every time I've seen him, everything I've seen, it's been great. He's a rookie. He's going to make some mistakes, but we're all very excited about what we've seen. Mike Green put his athleticism and relentlessness on display, working with former Raven Michael McCrary. Fine with that. Fine with that. Having Michael McCrary, I think, one of the greatest motors I think I ever saw on a football player on any team. But certainly, he never got tired on the field when I saw Michael McCrary. So he's been working with him. That's fantastic with me, working on some pass rush moves as well. Video went out last week. I saw Lamar working with Ray Lewis as well, making sure so that nothing wrong with that, having those guys out there showing their ability, not counting the free kick practice. They were working on free kick. Tyler Loop 7-9 today, missing from 46 and 48 yards. So again, not bad at all from Tyler Loop. Also to today's practice, Kyle Van Noy beat Daniel Falele, surprising. Lightning quick spin move, which would have hit a quarterback for a sack. Travis Jones was also a big problem with the trash rush drill. Travis Jones has been really good. Travis Jones has been really, really good. I got no problem with that at all, with Travis Jones showing his skills out there as well. I swear, y'all, I'm not trying to bash Daniel Falele. I'm trying to be, but I can't. I don't know. You're getting gaslit almost to, I think, to a certain extent, because John Harbaugh keeps saying and y'all keep saying that he's playing. I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't believe them when they say that. I can't. I'm watching it, so I don't know what to tell y'all as well. When it's week 3, DeJounte Western, no question about it. Travis Jones, Ruben Lowry's really making a push to be the next undrafted free agent on the Ravens. I think every day I'm reading about how good Ruben Lowry is. Everything I'm seeing here is Ruben Lowry making plays, getting interceptions, everything like that, really positioning himself for that as well. Devin Leary, not an NFL quarterback. Not an NFL quarterback. I'm not even thinking that maybe he even needs to be on a practice squad. I think he's 3 for 12. Measurables are there. That's about all I see with him. I mean, he can throw the ball well enough. I mean, he definitely has the arm strength. He definitely has the size, the build. That's about it. His accuracy is just not there at all. He seems to lack football instinct. I think he's going to get reps still. I don't think they're going to cut him immediately because I don't think they want to play Lamar. I mean, you got to have somebody play quarterback. I don't see it. Keaton Mitchell, I have been a loose catch despite all the things I said, because they brought in 2 running backs and there's a word of an injury. He hasn't practiced the next couple of days. And Falele, I don't know what to tell you. He's going to start though. That's why I'm not reading it yesterday, but he's going to start. Daniel Falele is the starting right guard. Whatever. So that's the way it's going to go. I'm not as worried because I think they know how to scheme it up. I know they know how to do that as well. But you're gonna it was. I almost showed the video of Todd Monken saying, "Well, you can't judge a guy by the one." Just stop. Just stop, Todd Monken. Just stop. You can't judge a guy by one play, and it's a whole. Okay. I mean, they're telling us something. I don't. Again. So there's your training camp report. Next week will be what we're going to do. We're going to predict the 53-man roster. So it's almost time for the 53-man roster. We're going to go ahead and predict that as well. We'll be happy to go ahead and do that for you. Season is coming here as well. And I did announce this, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. We are going to have we're going to have our instant reaction to college football. We've never done that, so we're going to do that. Week 1, we're going to react to, obviously, the Maryland game. Maryland FAU is playing at 12 o'clock, the first Terps game. We're going to talk about that. Malik Washington, true freshman, is going to stay. It's a lot of teams. Ohio State also with a freshman. A lot of quarterbacks with the portal. These guys are leaving, so you're seeing a lot of true freshmen, a lot of young players start. Also, the Maryland FAU game at the same time as the biggest game, I think, in college football week 1. I can remember Texas and Ohio State. We're going to go ahead and cover that. We're going to find out how good Arch Manning is right away. So look for that here soon. And now you can look for this. The linebackers. Who are the top 10 linebackers in the National Football League? The old John Facenda voice of the National Football League. So what is the linebacker position? So again, who are the best guys? We're not counting really the pass rush group in this. Like certain guys, you might see them listed as outside linebacker, like Watt, Highsmith, whatever. We're not counting that. So we're counting the off-ball guys, the middle linebackers, the 4-3 and those guys. Who are the best 10 in the league? Different horses, different for the league. But I think linebackers are playing less. That's fact. But it's still very important to the run game and the pass game to have that group. You still need linebackers on the field. We haven't gotten to the point where we're just playing Canadian football. We have 12 guys with 4 wide. We still need linebackers. We still need interior. So who are the 10 linebackers in the league? I think the best 10 in the league. Matt Milano, I have him here. I think Matt Milano hits with bad intentions. So there's no question about what Matt Milano can actually do on the field. He had how many tackles? He only had 60 tackles last year. He was when he's on the field, I think he's a beast. I think that's the only question I have with Milano. He's had some injuries for like the last 2 years that have kept him off the field. Watching him hit is just a joy to watch. I think this guy is one of the most physical football players hitter in the league I think I've ever seen. This guy installs fear. There's got to be a fear factor with football players, especially guys on defense. And I think Matt Milano absolutely has that. Great running ability. I think he's good. I think he's better in coverage than I think he gets credit for. But he just, the thing I never get past with Matt Milano is he is a fierce, awesome hitter as well. Jack Campbell from the Lions. So the Lions have a good defense. I think you talk about it for them, it really starts with Aiden Hutchinson as well. But they really have, I think, one of the better linebackers I think they have one of the better linebackers, I think, in the NFL. Jack Campbell, really good college player, almost 100 tackles his first year, over 100 tackles last year. I think he's going to have a career where he's going to have 100 tackles a year, 100-plus tackles penciled in. This is an old-school football middle linebacker, period. See a lot of Zach Thomas in him. See a lot of guys. Not the athleticism doesn't jump off the page, but he's always finding the football, always has a knack for the football, always getting home when he needs to. Always a guy playing on a good defense with good defensive players, but I think he does very well. I absolutely, you have to have a guy like Jack Campbell on your team, I think, for if you're a really good team, you definitely want a guy like that. Frankie Luvu for the Commanders as well. Luvu, I'm not going to put him in the Derek Brooks category quite yet, but he's really getting there. Almost, I think he's at 100 tackles. I think he was at 100 tackles 2 of the last 3 years as well. Started his career with the Jets, played with the Panthers, moved to Commanders last year, 8 sacks. His sack total is going up, getting about 100 tackles and about 8 sacks, so he's showing up on pass rush as well. Luvu, I think, is like the new version of the NFL linebacker. Not just a guy that's stopping the run or just good, but good in several different areas. That's what you see with Frankie Luvu, kind of like a better version of a Kyle Van Noy, right? If that makes sense. You need the pass rush, I got you. I need the run stop, I got you. He can do different things on the field. He's not playing with the great Bobby Wagner this year, so keep that in mind. So there's going to be more expectation on him. I think that helped. But I do think this is a guy with a lot of potential around him as well. Still young as well. Not a guy like he's only 28 years old. Still a lot of runway ahead of him. So Frankie Luvu for the Commanders have him at 8. Bobby Okereke. I think I'm saying that right. Why did you use him to say that? I should be saying his name right because he's an outstanding football player. Bobby Okereke for the Giants, tackling machine. That's what this guy is. You see the tackles as well. 132, 151, 149. Little bit of an injury last year. Started 93 tackles. I'm not fooled at all. Some people don't like him as much. He's not been on some great teams. It's not memorable. But there's nothing wrong with having a middle linebacker, inside linebacker that gets a ton of tackles. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely knows for the football. That's what it is. Like to see a little bit more stuff you remember and splash play, but he's just all over the field. So definitely you can have him on the field. He's going to find the football. He's going to stop the big plays as well. I do love Bobby Okereke as well. Consistent. One of the things I can say about any person, any player, any man is consistency. That's the word I think about a lot with Bobby Okereke is consistency. Dre Greenlaw, number 6, formerly of the 49ers, now in Denver. Didn't really play last year, so that's a thing. He was part of that great group, him and Fred Warner in San Fran. So free agency goes west to Denver. Didn't really play at all. I think he pretty much last year. So he's going to Denver. I think he's their best linebacker, arguably one of the best defensive players. He gets to now be more of the focus, and I think that's the only thing with him coming off an injury, but sideline to sideline. he's going to gobble you up. He's going to absolutely gobble you up with his ability. I really like Dre Greenlaw's ability that not everybody has that. Not even good linebackers have that. A lot of linebackers are good going forward. Dre Greenlaw is good going to the sides, going to the end line. That's what guy I like with that sideline to sideline as well. And again, not playing with Fred Warner anymore on a new team, but like a lot with Dre Greenlaw. Not too worried about him. I still have him in the top 10. Zaire Franklin of the Colts. So I think the Colts, I said it a couple times. I think they have real problems as far as they go. But I do think Zaire Franklin isn't the problem. Zaire Franklin is an outstanding tackler. 173 tackles. I think that led the NFL last year. Fantastic tackling machine as well. They are good up the middle. I think he's the defensive leader. I think the defense is somewhat overstated, but Zaire Franklin's really good. Again, you talk about Okereke being a tackling machine, a guy. This guy is a better tackler, and I think he's got a little more thud to him. I think Zaire Franklin, you're going to know when you play against him that you played against him. So I think he does have that a little more shiftiness, a little bit more athleticism on top of that, but he's a real focused guy on making the tackle on defense, tackling machine as well. Zaire Franklin, number 5 for the Colts. I think still, and I think I've said this the last couple of years, one of the most underrated defensive players in the entire NFL has been Nick Bolton. Nobody talks about how good Nick Bolton has been for the Chiefs. 106 tackles as well. He's had 180 tackles. I think 3 sacks. Like, again, Swiss Army knife. Does so many things well. He's not just a guy that does one thing, not a tackler. He kind of like we talked about with Frankie Lever, doesn't just do one thing. He really makes impact and is a much better hitter despite all of his many skills. I think that's really what I like about him. I know you're not going to miss him on the field as well. So I think like he can do several different things. Definitely just signed a new extension, 25 years old, right in his prime. I really think this guy's an impact player. Nick Bolton, enormously underrated. That nobody talks about how good Nick Bolton is as well. Zach Braun, oh my goodness, he was fantastic last year with the Eagles. I think there's no way they win the Super Bowl without Zach Braun. As good as anybody, I think, in the league last year at the inside linebacker position. He really was. Just tackling machine all over the field. He had 151 tackles, 3 sacks. There was nothing he did. This came really a big surprise. That's probably the only reason I have him at 3rd, because it kind of came out of nowhere. So that, as great as he was last year, and you could argue he was the best linebacker in the NFL, kind of came out of nowhere. He's had some good years, but this really was a huge jump from what he's been. So not doubting it, but I think that's, for me, putting a guy number 1, that's probably the main reason why he's 3 as well, behind the 2 guys ahead of him. But Zach Braun, I think, did everything well for them. Eagles had a lot of young players. They needed leadership. He provided leadership for them. He was a great tackler. And again, see the new era of linebacker, does a lot of things well. Didn't just come near the line of scrimmage, even though he stopped the run a lot. He does a lot of things on the field. Zach Braun was amazing last year. Almost as good as Roquan Smith. You got to put Roquan because of the track record he's had. These 3, if you put them at 1, I don't have a problem with it. Roquan, I can tell you this. People saying he had a down year for his standards. He had 154 tackles. 154 tackles last year. Had 1.5 sack, played everything. I mean, Roquan was really, really good. I guess he got off to a slow start as well. I think sometimes when you're great like this, people kind of take it for granted all the time. It did seem like not as many huge splash plays as well. That's possible, but I think Roquan is nothing to worry about. Roquan is number 2. Number 1 from the Niners is Fred Warner. Warner, I think, is one of the best defensive players in the entire NFL. 130 sacks. Again, he's had 100 sacks every year of his career since 2018, 131 last year, automatic 100 sack. I think, I there's nothing he doesn't do well on the field. Nothing. He excels in coverage. He excels in hitting. He excels at line of scrimmage. He excels in leadership. He excels in every area. Excels in line calls. Really the boss out there as well. He's got the best command, I think, of a defense. Ray Lewis is not in the league anymore. I'm not saying he's Ray Lewis, but he's got that type of command of his guys on the field as well. The ultimate inside linebacker as well. Fred Warner, number one of the Niners. There you go. All right. So those are the top 10 linebackers in the NFL. We got a few more. We got cornerback, we got safeties, and we got coaches. As we go towards the season, we're almost done with our list, our top 10 list of the top 10 players in the NFL, and definitely will continue to go over that. Real quick, media news. So Paramount will be the new home for the Ultimate Fighting Championship under a 7-year agreement. TKO Group announced on Monday. So this is now no longer the big deal. Here is for you UFC people, there's no more pay-per-views going on anymore. So they were the last real major bastion of pay-per-views along with boxing. So what you have now is all of their content is going to be on their Paramount Plus stream that they have. So you're going to have the number of UFCs that are going to be on Paramount Plus. You're no longer going to have to pay for each one what they had been doing before they had the old school pay-per-views. But in recent years, they've been with ESPN Plus. So what you had to do is you had to buy ESPN Plus, and then you had to buy the pay-per-view along with the ESPN Plus. You get the ESPN Plus subscription, and then you buy the UFC pay-per-view. So they would I think they took like $5 off because you already had ESPN Plus. Well, now you don't need to do that. Now, I do think this is going to cause the Paramount stream price to go up. But you get this, The Ultimate Fighter, all this stuff. They're being vague about what exactly it is. But the main thing is the main shows, the numbered shows are no longer going to be pay-per-view model. That's huge for Paramount. Paramount needed a deal like this too. They are like the smallest of the major carriers there. Comcast, Disney, etc. They're the smallest. So getting a deal like this is huge. And I did think the WWE deal was kind of going to go this way. So I was a little bit surprised that the way that this happened as well. I would have sworn that the deal would have went the other way. But this is the way it went. So as well. Also, too, I mentioned last week, I think I mentioned this last week, the deal with the ESPN, $29.99, along with Fox, $19.99. So Fox is going to stream now as well. So you could get streamed with the Fox One. This is going to include all the Fox Sports, but it's also going to include Fox News and all that other stuff. Television's dead. There's going to be no one cares. I've been interviewing media personalities all summer, ever since last Super Bowl. There's not one person to find on all the interviews I've done and all the people I talked to that thinks that there's future. And so what you're doing now is they're paring down of the media landscape as well. So we will go there. It seems a little weird, right, that I'm doing a July recap because I didn't do it last week. And this week, I felt weird. I felt like not even doing it in a way. I'm going to do it a little bit here, but because of all the changes on the team, obviously, right? So we've lost so many players because of trades and all that other stuff. So then it seemed a little weird to recap July, and obviously we're in July 13th, right? on August 13th, right? So it's a little weird, but we're going to go over it. It's somewhat abbreviated fashion as well because so many players are different. But we're going to go over what happened because this is because of now some of these guys are gone. So we're going to get a chance to talk about some of these players. 50 and 59 on July 31st. They had won the last 6 out of 10 at the time, and they were fifth as they've been all year in the division, last place. Jackson Holiday, I think, is the reason to watch. I'm sorry about that. I messed that up already. All right. So Jackson Holiday, I think, has been the reason to watch. I think Holiday has been fantastic all year. I think he's been struggling a little bit more as of late, but I think the season that he's had, you got to feel very good about that. Westberg, I think has been good as well. I think Westberg, he's just got to stay healthy. I get the feeling with him sometimes that he has trouble staying on the field. That's not a good feeling to have. When he's on the field, he's fantastic. No problem with Jordan Westberg. I think he's really, really good defensively as well. Gunnar, I think, has been solid. Not enough RBI production. I think Gunner's year has not been as we had hoped. Not at all. I think he's not driving the ball. He is somewhat decent as far as hitting the ball. He might wind up with 20 home runs. The RBI total is going to be way, way down from what we hope for as well. Ryan O'Hearn is now with the San Diego Padres as well. He's had a good hit for them as well. He was good at the end. Romariano, no surprise, had a walk-off for them the other night in San Diego, so he was good. So those two guys would have won. I think they could have won Most Valuable Royal had they stayed. Colton Cowser getting back from the IL. Yeah, he's back on the IL. But Cowser, I thought, I think Cowser, again, not as much as with Westbrook, but now we're seeing more and more times where Cowser is banged up. Same with Tyler O'Neill, who's always banged up. Tyler O'Neill definitely has some issues as well. Another guy who was traded was Cedric Mullins. He's gone to New York. He's helping them out as well. I didn't put Adley Rutschman because he really didn't play in July. Alex Jackson and Jacob Stallings. Stallings, I think, is gone from the roster. Alex Jackson has been a pleasant surprise, actually. Alex Jackson has been good. I think he's been hitting a lot of doubles. He's actually driving the ball. He's got that goofy number 70. I don't like that. But I think he's been a pleasant surprise. Not going to go over this too much. Rodriguez is not going to pitch for us. Mateo, I don't think we'll see him. Wells and Bradish, I think we're going to see any day now. You're for sure, I think, going to see them in September. I think there also is a chance that you're going to see Suarez. Rushman, I think, was injured. Now he's back. Maverick Hanley starting to work his way back. His injury was worse than what we thought. Povich has worked his way back. Mountie is obviously back in the lineup. Rivera and Vasquez as well. Westberg was on the bench as well. A lot of these guys are gone. We're going to talk about Zach Eflin, Dean Kramer. Dean Kramer's been good this year. Dean Kramer has been better. I would give it a thumbs up. Not better than we hoped for. So same with Sagano. A little bit, I think, a little bit surprised that another team wasn't interested in him, but he was a little bit inconsistent. But I think decent enough. I think he's had a good enough season. 8-5. I think he's up to 9 wins now. Charlie Morton has been gone, traded away to the Tigers. So after the start, good for Charlie, at least getting some value, and I think could be the number one pitcher going forward in 2026. Trevor Rogers, the bullpen. Cano and Aiken are still here. I took them all off as Cano and Aiken are still here. Aiken blew the save, has been in the 9th inning role because he's basically the last man standing. He's probably the only guy Mazzolino knows. Cano has struggled all season. Kittredge was traded as well. So I didn't do too much with the ball. I mean, they're not here. That's why I meant abbreviated fashion. In the offseason, they're going to have to build that back up from scratch because there's nothing there as far as the bullpen as well. So we'll talk about what's going on now, but I didn't want to go over that abbreviated fashion because the whole point of the recaps is to go over what happened last month. Obviously, and into the next month and see where players are going in the next month. But when you trade away all the players, I felt What am I recapping? Like this going in the next month. O'Hearn is gone. O'Hearn is gone. All these guys, Borton, etc. So okay, so there you go. We recapped it for you there as well. Let's talk about the DSL Orioles and the FCL. So the Complex League, and we're going to talk about the FCL Orioles because it is time for baseball summer.
Put me in cold. I'm ready to play the game.
Let's do one more. Because that's what the season has seemed like, the Addams family there. FCL Orioles. Let's go ahead and go over that as well. So what are these guys? Dominican Summer League and Florida Complex League. So you talk about minor league baseball. This is the developmental level, the uber developmental level. These guys are the guys that are just signed. Some of them are not even old enough to be adults. Literally, some of them are 17 and 16 years old in some cases. So these are the guys. If you are, and you're looking at the screen right now, DSL Orioles black, DSL Orioles orange, two levels of the Michaelized international system, where these are players from the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, playing professional for the first time in the Dominican Republic, but they're on the Orioles minor league system. You've seen some of them go to Delmarva and go play as well. Look at the screen here. Nikhil Cruz, he's 25. He's the oldest one. Eduardo Torres, which was great on New York Undercover. Eddie Torres, I'm sure it's not the same guy. And Fernando Malenas, I think that's right, 22. So these are the old hits, right? These guys, 25 is exceptionally old for this league. Most of these guys are young, 17 and 30. Elvis Moreno has been there. I think it's like his fifth year in the Dominican coaching to a 17 and 32 record. Okay, so here are the key performers for the Orioles black team. So there's two teams. So the Orioles black, Sterling Menez are from the Dominican Republic. You're going to see a lot of stolen bases. So a lot of these guys are very young. So a lot of these guys steal a lot of bases. Dominican style, you see a lot more of that, a lot more hitting the ball on the ground, a lot more of that. So those type players, we see who stands out. Third baseman, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, 271 average. Lizardo Sanchez from the outfielder, 1 home run, 22 RBIs, has 8 steals. Best average I think I saw, definitely the most accolades. He's the guy probably moving up the Orioles. He was the one guy I think was in the top 30 Orioles prospects, along with Ashley Valdez, 18 years old, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. 1 home run, 23 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, and 233 average. Juan Duran, very common name in the Dominican Republic as well. 21 years old. He was probably their best pitcher. Been there a while. He's 21 years old, 2.92 ERA as well. And Darling Valaccio as well, 17 years old. Again, 17 years old. So these guys are like high school age, really playing professionally every day to go ahead and play in the major. So these guys are bonus sacrificing a whole lot playing baseball at a very, very young age as well. Jordan Sanchez. All right, so let's go ahead and go back. Not the FCO. Management appreciates your cooperation. Let's talk about the orange first. So the DSL orange. So there's 2 groups of Dominican League teams. You do see guys, the records there, Chris Moderna, 19 and 31. But the idea is you do see guys going back and forth. From what I can see, the black is the better team, the high team. The orange seems to be the starter team, whatever. They got some older players as well. You see it. Valenzuela, they're 22 years old. San Anthony Vizcaino, he's 21. Roel Herrera is also 22. Pitchers seem to be just a scotch older. They take a little bit longer to develop. That's true of all baseball players. So baseball players that pitch actually take a little bit longer than hitters. Hitters, you find out not always quickly, but you find out fairly soon whether they can play or not. Jerome Newell, I think, is one of the probably been their best player during the course of the season. The one with the most accolades, 18 years old, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, 39 stolen bases. That leads the Dominican Summer League. He's been fantastic. This is his second year there, so he's been really good. I think Delmarva is going to be calling him not too long in the distant future the way he's played. Wolfie De La Cruz, he's there now. He's a signer there at least, but these stats are pretty much from when he was there in the Dominican League for the Cubs, when he was in the trade with Andrew Kittredge. So he's there as well, developing over 300 average, 13 stolen bases. Very young, 18 years old. Hector Campusano, 0 home runs, 29 RBIs, 17 steals, hitting 300. Again, we talked about it. This is how it rolls with a lot of these guys. The speed of the game, it's kind of the style, the way they play. Angel Garcia, not from the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, 17 years old, 3 home runs, 24 RBIs, 20 stolen bases. Salvador Casido, 19 years old, 3.75 ERA and 36 strikeouts. So those are the guys I think you want to keep those names in your mind that can go up to Delmarva pretty soon. You're already seeing that as well. I don't think I have this in here. All right. So we talk about it. Also, too, this year I didn't forget the Florida Complex League. So this is kind of similar. You also see, and I have these guys on the screen who've actually played there this year. Nate George is really moving up prospect rankings. So Nate George has worked his way into being a top 100 prospect. He played at Florida Coastal League. Esteban Mejia from Delmarva Shorebirds. Electric stuff. They're not there now, but you also see, and to make the point, Kyle Bradish was there. You hear guys, especially with injury, hey, go down to Florida, work on some things. They're 35 and 24, so they're playing in actual games. Christopher has playing actual games, but this is uber developmental stuff. So they're just trying to make them better players in a game environment. That makes sense. All right. So FCL, Jordan Sanchez, 18 years old, 5 home runs, 45 RBIs. This is another guy who's been there more than a year and really had a chance to develop. Now he's 18, so he's going to go up, I'm sure. Maybe not this year, but certainly by 2026. Juan Ortega, the catcher. Look, catcher prospects, as we know in the Orioles system. But Ortega, 19 years old, got a little while, so he's developed. He's an FCL. Jose Mejia, 2 home runs, 24 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, 233 average. Evan Garcia, 1 home run, 13 RBIs, has a 234 average. And Freeman Magvez as well. He also played there, 2 home run, 2 and 1, 12 strikeouts. So not as many really good pitching prospects. Again, even at these super low levels, you're seeing guys that are good offensive players, but not as good pitching prospects. But you do see guys like Mejia, Esteban Mejia, like Maga, it's still very developmental. So, but this is the future, right? You have to develop guys that are 17, 18 years old in Dominican Republic. Very popular baseball in the Dominican Republic, very popular as well. Very crucial that you are involved in the international system and develop these type players. And you're already seeing in the minor league system, these guys are starting to filter up. Sangha Basayo obviously being the biggest one, the most famous one for the Orioles minor league system. So there you go. There are some names that you can look at for the Orioles to go ahead and get squared away. That's what the season's been. as we get to our Orioles report, to do the Adams family theme there. And it's been creepy and kooky the way the Orioles have looked all year long down the stretch. Last Thursday, they activated Rico Garcia and optioned Elvin Rodriguez to Norfolk as well. I, Elvin Rodriguez is kind of like these pitchers, they have no clue what they're doing. They're just going up, down, up, down, up, down. Greg Allen was signed from the Yankees. In that same week, they put Colton Cowser on the 7-day DL. Maverick Hanley, they sent to a rehab assignment. During the same day, Ryan Mountcastle activated from the 60-day DL. Tyler O'Neill placed on the 10-day DL. And Jordan Adams was recalled from Norfolk. Good to see Mountie back. Mountie's had trouble staying healthy the last couple of years. I think that's kind of been the biggest issue for him as well. Cowser, I think, a couple times now we've seen Cowser get hurt. Cowser has a little bit of the Bill Ripken in him. He plays very, very hard. Like, Cowser's always running. He's running. I mean, just you call it gutsy, but he ran into the Ivy in Chicago. Like, that's a brick wall, bro. Like, you don't necessarily want to do that. So Cowser plays really hard, and I think that's kind of that thing. I call a guy as Billy Ripken when he does that as well. Jordan Adams, again, up and down. Tyler O'Neill, he's got a history of this. I mean, being on the shelf as good as he's been. Can't stay on the field last year with Boston, kind of the exception to the rule. In St. Louis, the exception to the rule. But this is kind of the way it's been. Oriole fans got word this week. Ticket prices are going up for a season for 2026 and undergoing changes that may push fans to a breaking point. So the 13-game package, I think, is no more. It's going to be now the 20-game package, and now you have a 40-game package. So very slick. So now instead of paying for 13 games, I'm going to increase the price, and I'm going to increase the time of the package that you have to get to go ahead and do that. So it's more expense. So what people are going to do is they're going to not buy it, right? So, like, if I have the 30-something game package, I'm going to go to the 20 game if I want to stay. If I have the 13-game package, I'm not going to get it. I'm just going to take the individual tickets. I will say this. Fans are upset, and I'm not as upset because I don't live in Baltimore, so I don't go to the games particularly as well. I can say this. You have a bad season like this, and this is just how business is in the United States. Raise the price. Keep going up, right? Keep going up regardless of the situation as well. And obviously the economics in Baltimore, and I don't live there now. I lived there for 31 years. I mean, it's astounding how even me in social media, how nobody talks about that. These people just don't have, I mean, I don't know what people are thinking sometimes to keep raising the prices of the Oriole games and the tickets and everything is all this expensive club and like you're in Baltimore. Like, have you been to North Avenue? Have you been to those things? Have you seen all that? So again, I mean, they're not going to listen to that, but I understand why fans are upset about that, considering the season that we've had, and then you go ahead and raise the prices. Unfortunately, a lot of people with money and power and those things are just tone deaf. They really don't think that they really don't understand a lot of times when you talk to them. All right. Sunday, Daniel Johnson claimed offer waivers from San Francisco, selected the contract of Jospe Espera and Houston Roth. Houston Roth has been up, down, up, down. I made the joke, Houston Roth, he got fired on his day off because they keep sending him down even on days they don't have games. So he plays well, and he keeps sending him down. So Johnson again activated. Jordan Adams again sent to Norfolk as well. And then Wednesday, they go ahead and assign him to go ahead and Norfolk. Kyle Bradish update. Bradish is expected to make at least one more rehab start before he activated from the 60-day DL. Bradish, we will see this year. I don't think there's any question about it. They definitely want to get him on the field for the next season, so they're not wondering all season as well. These guys, you are going to have to win their off season. Felix Batista and Zach Eflin are done for the remainder of the season. Tony Mazzolino announced to the team on Tuesday. This is a white flag. I don't buy for a second that they couldn't pitch. I think that they don't want to get him hurt, and if you do intend to sign him, or you can look again. Eflin, I think he's probably pitched his last game with the Orioles. I think for sure a Tampa or somebody else is going to try and get him as well. Batista, I don't know. They don't say much. They're not going to say much again. But this is 2 straight years now with Batista. Or really 3. I mean, he was injured the year before. He didn't pitch at all last year, and he doesn't finish this year with the injury. I'm gonna think they're being cautious. I don't know, but we'll see with that. Orioles have just managed 8 runs in the last 5 games. This total adds up to 13 RBIs, and their team batting average in the last 5 games is 175. Offense, not good enough. Not good enough. Now, again, obviously, their offense and the outfield is atrocious. But you trade away all your outfielders and the rest of them are, right? You got rid of the guys, O'Hearn and those guys are productive. They don't seem to care. You will for sure, I think, going to have Basayo and Beavers at some point in September. I don't know. And again, they're going to say, well, we're monitoring the activity. These guys, I mean, they're getting no offense right now from any of their outfielders. Dylan Carlson started struggling again. I think he was the best one. But Greg Allen was a guy who was released. They're sending Daniel. I mean, there's just not even trying. Again, they have had injuries, but you have guys, I think, better in the minors as well. Jeremiah Jackson was at least good in Norfolk, but he struggled defensively. Sagano, I think, has been good for whatever that's worth the last week. Alex Jackson, I think, as well. So has Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers, I think, has been their best pitcher, I think, all season long, without the question. Rogers, I think, has been, been the bright spot. I think, other than maybe Jackson Holiday, I think as well. Keegan Aiken, look, man, you're getting your shot as a closer. He struggled. I think I misspelled it. Keegan Aiken is getting a shot as a closer. And Westberg and Holiday can't struggle. You can't struggle. And I tell you why they can't struggle. Because you got nothing for sure at the bottom of the order. Those guys are not going to produce. We know. So when they struggle and they've been cold lately, it really is going to show. Who are they playing this week? The Astros, and I think the Houston Astros are really good. I think the Astros, I think you're going to get a chance to see Ramon Urias, who just had a big hit for them the other day. But Altuve and et cetera. So I think they're legitimate contenders. Red Sox, I think they're decent enough. I think they got rid of Devers. I thought that was a mistake. I thought I thought that was a bit of an overreaction. Duran, I think they almost traded him. So it doesn't seem like they're going in a direction, even though the record is terrible. Best player this week, Gunnar Henderson, I guess. Gunnar, I think, was the most productive, as bad as the offense has been. Gunnar, I think, is the Orioles player of the week. Have a good week. Enjoy the Ravens and the Cowboys this weekend. Definitely check us out. All of our platforms, and you watching right now, all 35 of you on social media, subscribe to the Ravori Sports Podcast. Have a great day, guys.